Hello everyone, and welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. We have a community cast for you guys today, this time submitted by the First Lieutenant Canadian himself. I think he is rather well known in Blitz Wars circles and has been a recent nice presence in my Discord as well, which is usually linked in the description, but check that out if you'd like. It's small, but it's cozy, and we have some good friendly games. So, this is a friendly game, not a ranked game, between Canadian and True Orb, who is a captain, and it looked to be, just before I started, a bit of a blue-on-blue match, confirmed now by Excel341F Celtic, which of course is the French, really hyper-aggressive anti-air helicopter. 70 points, but for what you get, I mean, I always think this thing is beautiful. If it had 6 strength, it would be completely bonkers, and yeah, I mean, right away, there's a kill there on a Lynx H7, probably carrying something expensive, I would imagine. Of course, I have not seen this game just yet, but the 2 kills there go to show how valuable those Celtics are, and a Cobra is denying the usual sort of advance here. I mean, there's a single man of the RBS still left, but yeah, not for long. SASF is a good choice too. I like the Strela 2Ms, but I don't know, 3 HE power is always a little bit underwhelming. Okay, it looks like True Orb is going for an aggressive push into Alpha. Maybe this is just a thing, and I just only started seeing it recently, because holy cow, there's been a lot of rushes into this side recently, I mean, just from what I've experienced, and yeah, some VAM T2013s, a little bit of a revenge push here, as it looks like most of Canadian's forces are bypassing the advance by Orb and just going right through, but yeah, I was about to say you have to back that up. Here's a Fighting Falcon coming in, so let's see, pretty good contact probable there. Some losses on other parts of the map, we will have to see those as well as SAS. Yeah, this is oh, that was rough. So, I mean, yeah, there was a nice helicopter kill there, but the AMX-10 RC just shooting away, getting some SAS, getting some transports, but this is nice. Rima, oh, I wish the SAS had gotten up there. That would be really wonderful, having those stingers in town. Oh, okay, one of them did. All right, good. Good. So if there's any sort of helicopter push, any sort of combined arms response there, the SAS will be able to push that back reasonably well. I like this. It's kind of interesting. It's almost like both players have traded what positions they're strong in. It's a little bit unorthodox, but these guys are going right for the spawn here. VAB 2013s are very, very deadly, but holy shit. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. Yeah, okay. Triple stack of MX-10 RCs will do the job. Damn. I thought that was going to be a CV kill or something in Echo. I was going, okay, well maybe this is a shorter game than I thought, but no. F-14F Tomcats. I've never gotten good use of these guys, but I think that might just be because I don't have much patience. And these guys, those Tomcats seem like things that take patience, coordination, and effort. Caspier actually killed an AMX. Not bad. Not bad at all. Autocannon to that thing's fragile armor, and I suppose it'll work. If the AMX was facing the other way, it might not have been able to turn around in time. More AMXs. Okay, these SAS being spotted is really bad. You need that not to happen. But if you move the Rima up, the Apolos should have decent enough range. Well, yeah, if you move him over right here, you can get at least one shot in the MX-10. Yep, okay, that is what's going to happen. Okay. Second shot was technically a hit. Rovers versus SAS. This is not what you want the SAS to be fighting. Rolling 3. Okay, well, so it looks like both players are trying to recapture their back-end zones, but I don't know, they're actually doing the same units. It's kind of freaky. MX-10 RC shooting in, but taken out. Whatever that was. It looks like some sort of a heavier tank. It could have just been another MX-10 RC. Not really sure. It's a bit interesting. Okay. H1J Cobra. Alright, so let's see here on Sundar. These things are wonderfully annoying. I mean, geez, anyone who has played against a French national deck knows that. Although French national versus Eurocorps, Eurocorps is probably a lot better. But you may have noticed the music change. I had to do a bit of a jump cut there. Something came up, but well, we're back now. That's okay. Rima taking a bit of a pounding, SAS taking a bit of a pounding, and let's see, Fallskirmjäger. Okay, I didn't think this was completely recaptured. Cobra's a nice answer here, though. Those frag rounds do a lot more than you might think. Let's see, if the Vavs can get over here, if that's any sort of reasonable infantry in the Vavs, they shouldn't have too much of a problem clearing that out, in which case I'd definitely say this is going in Canadian's direction at the moment. I mean, if you can clear out Alpha, get some sort of control of Bravo, then still be a little bit of a nuisance in Charlie, that's good. My worry is, I think it's easier to clear Charlie than it is Alpha, just in terms of getting stuff in. I mean, Look at how short of a path that is to get the Vabs in there, to get more infantry, to get more AMXs. I mean, a lot of those alphas, like, you gotta go all the way out this way, or over here. It takes quite a while. Don't underestimate that. That's why people do rushes into alpha to begin with, is you can get there reasonably quickly along the straight. Kind of wish the Cobra had turned around and finished off those infantry. That would have been pretty nice. But this is a good catch. So SAS killing the 10 RC. I don't know, this really reminds me of playing South Africa, just the number of AMX 10 RCs out here, because the Ruakat spam that you usually see from South Africa players, and do as a South Africa player, is also very high. Yeah. I almost wonder... This is good. This is very nice. This is very nice. Switch it over to Fox, pull some things that way, or just take some ground. Yeah. No complaints there. Another Entendant. I mean, I think Orb is really trying to figure out what the hell he needs to do here. Let's look at this. These guys are unloaded, but just standing out. That's a nice silhouette, honestly. Very pretty game sometimes. Like, this surprised me when I first started playing this game, is, you know, you expect it's an RTS, you should be playing up here, you should be doing all this stuff. Then you zoom in, and it's like, well, we can watch these bombs drop on hapless infantrymen running through trees with surprisingly good graphics there. But if they get in, I mean, the Rima are pretty healthy still, and their mini-me is off. That's going to be a problem. So if the mini-me gets turned on, they could probably cut through Potabat without too much trouble. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, shock versus shock. Looks like the Rima got a bit of a bad engagement at the start, but yeah, that's going to do it. FN Mag is way worse than the mini-me as well, so I mean, yeah, these guys are very nice. The French infantry tab is a nice tab. I know 25 points is expensive, but, you know, if it works. I don't love this, though. So, I don't know. I've heard that it's pretty rare to put Recon over here as the player on this side of the field. I don't really understand that. I mean, a single unit of Recon infantry right here, or even up on the high ground, and you get vision over so much, it really makes it harder for people to sneak up on you. And I've been snuck up on way too many times before. This is not as good an engagement as I think Orb might think it is. Rima versus SAS. Rima will get pretty good engagements there. The Saxon Dying's not great. And I do like the RBS sneak. This is good. Good. Sorry, I'm a little overly judgmental today. Oh, it is what it is. Let's take a look here. Actually, let's speed things up a little, because there's, I think, not a hell of a lot going on otherwise. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, just light infantry sparring here. Kind of surprised I haven't seen more bombers from Orb, because it's close enough to your home zone you could reasonably bomb and get out. But of course, overinvestment in an air tab is always a problem as well. It's a nice little dead transport. I feel sorry for them about that. At least this guy gets hits this first time. It's a rarity these days, it seems like. Okay, flash rounds from the Gongbyung should do decently well here. What's shooting in? Okay, so it was these guys, but they're not using their flash launchers, and that's pretty sad. I mean, taking the direct fire across an open field, 15-point infantry, 30 points for the group, that has to hurt. And I like the Gongbyung up here, but you need something to handle that heavy armor, because well, I guess 10 RCs aren't heavy armor per se, but they're heavier than Gongbyung can take out. And the Potabat will do decently well against Gongbyung, better than you think. Their shock squads, even though the FN Mag isn't amazing, they have the health that the Gongbyung don't in order to soak up that damage. Fighting Falcon coming in, nice response here from Orb, getting out of the way as much as possible. Looks like some of the vehicles died, but I think the infantry should be reasonably healthy here. Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, they're panicked to hell and back, you can kind of expect that. But now there's not enough Rima left to really mount an offensive. So Cheetah D going after a Hovets, but it looks like a swing and a miss. Block 52 does get the kill. And yeah, things are getting pushed back. So this is a problem. There's been a lot of expensive infantry pushed forward for Canadian, and it has been just getting shot and shot and shot. You don't want your SASF dying like this. They're not cheap enough for that. 25 points isn't the most for an elite squad. It's actually kind of cheap, but they don't have a tertiary. It kind of makes sense. And then, I don't know, SAS versus SASF. I like SAS better, but still, getting those guys pounded down to a single man is pretty rough. I'd like to see the Geverman moving across the open. You can split them, push them across here, just get that relatively cheap probing action going there in Fox, because you'd be surprised. Lots of people will put ATGM vehicles, things like that, or maybe even a single tank back there, but the 10 RC's gun, well, it's not amazing. Huh. That would be a nice way, I think, to put a bit more pressure on. I've never seen... We're 11 minutes in, I guess there has been a cap now on Hotel, but it took that whole time to get the cap on Hotel. And so much stuff has died. We're 11 minutes in, and there's a couple of AMXs, a couple of Rima. Decent plane tab for Canadian as well, and that is something that's definitely draining resources. Good response. Looks like just 2 little puffs of smoke there. Could have been damaging infantry that was nearby. A little bit hard to tell, but a very nice response trying to stay away from the Fighting Falcon for True Orb. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. So more ATGMs coming up. This is nice. If you can get them just poking through on the woods there, then you need recon infantry up here. The 10 RCs are all well and good, but they're way squishier than cheap recon infantry, especially when they're answering 10 RCs that can cause you trouble. So this is split. He's trying to prevent anything moving along the road. It's a nice kill. I think it was just a Panzerbill or something similar for the transport there. But yeah, some recon infantry in these woods. You'd be spotting any vehicle moving out in the open back here. And then your RBS can do their work, right? Right now, there could be something sitting right there and we wouldn't know. Okay, and we fill. Yeah, I mean, SASF will do their thing. Let's see, is that mortar fire? Hard to tell. Fighting Falcon coming in again, and Block 52. Nice response time there off the Block 52 from Drew Orp. That's pretty good. And Tomcat going in, Cheetah D going in, but the Tomcat... Okay, so there is a kill there. Rolling threes. Tomcat's in danger. Evac ordered, and he does get away. I'm surprised the Cheetah D also got away. I don't think he's quite gotten a kill yet off the Cheetah D. Yeah. It's an interesting seed plane. Let's see. I don't usually play regular Blue Force, so I'm not sure what the argument would be for taking it over something else, but yeah, that's going to be vision lost off the RBS, so the AMX-10RC is relatively safe. Or it should be. I would have thought. Maybe it was just a miss. Huh. I guess they get sight off of that corner, but yeah, there's vision lost. Okay, not bad. This is what I meant, though. He takes one shot from an enemy 10RC, and now you have to move him all the way back there. He's not spotting as well as he should. M48A1s, 15-point Norwegian tanks. Yeah. 40% accuracy, no stabilizer, but you don't buy them for a stabilizer. You buy them for the 5 frontal armor and the reasonable HE for the point cost. Let's see. Yeah, Powderbot stuck out in the open. If these guys can get up there, they'll make quick work of them. 1 or 2 shots, 1 or 2 hits in the open. 10RC trying to do something with that. Huh. Interesting. It's always cool to see how different people play, right? I used to never take recon infantry, now I take them pretty much all the time, and I really can't see what I would do without them. Things like, for example, I played a game as the Soviets recently, and Spetsnaz Guru were everywhere. And it can be very strong. I mean, they don't always have the answers, but they can be very strong indeed. And let's see... Okay. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that's a fight at this level of... I mean, true, it's not a ranked match, but Captain and First Lieutenant is seemingly this static. So Charlie's capped. Charlie's capped. Link's H7 is... yeah, that's pretty deadly, down to the SAS. Those are the ones that were hurt before, so that does make sense as well. I really want to see the F-14 Tomcat's kill list after this. Evac ordered, he's getting out. And the Magach 6-bet Gaul just able to escape punishment there from an RBS 56 in the area. This is what I want to see. Yeah, well, I don't know. Here's the thing. Bombers can push you out of these woods, and the Kurnos is doing that right now. SAS and SASF killed. Rima panicked, M84A1's panicked, Rima 85 moving back. If you can't push through here, I've seen these woods become a slaughterhouse so many times, it's crazy. This is good, though. So Gewehrman sparring with Foscomjägeri, it's going to be a bad engagement, but now you know these guys are here. They are also twice the point cost. Let's see, that might be a bomber. Yeah, Antondar, nice answer. Cheap, effective. And so long as the Foscomjägeri are stationary, this should get the kill pretty well. Let's see, 2 400-kilogram bombs going in. Down they go. Gewehrman's still alive. That seems worthwhile. Yeah, not bad. Just be careful you don't walk into your own artillery. Okay, that's good. So if you pushed up here, again, if you pushed up here with some recon infantry and some infantry fighting vehicles, or even AMX-10 RCSBs behind it, that's decent fire support from these woods. Your Gewehrman will catch some of the incoming fire here. Then you sneak up and around and onto the other side of Fox, right? And then with the amount of blood and death that's gone on in Charlie, you can be reasonably assured that there's a significant point investment there as well, which is now out of place and more or less a dead buy, right? So if you shift the side of the field, you can very often get success there. Not always. Sometimes it's too little too late. Sometimes it's easy to get hyper-focused. I do it all the time, right? So you're going, I really want to push through Charlie. And then if you took a step back and you take a look, sometimes there are other opportunities. But Nordland's Jägeri will make that tough there. Antandar did get killed, probably by Roland 3 is my guess, because there were a couple of them farther back. And the Nordland's Jägeri play off of True Orb is very nice. I really need to put these guys back in my own Scandi deck, just because they do have their uses. I got annoyed by them, and I was like, you know what? No. That's not always the right response. This is bad. Parabat in this forward building. I've seen that hold before. It can be brutally effective. Kurnos, Cheetah D did out-micro... Well, he was out-microed by that Roland 3. And actually, that's a push. Okay, I'd expected the Parabat to hold that town and then just to basically say, yeah, you're not getting past me, because whatever goes up will start engaging the Parabat, and then you have a fire support behind it, Nordland's Jägeri behind it. K1's in a bit of trouble there, potentially. Yeah. Looks like it might have been side armor. Ooh, nice. Well, nice for True Orb anyway. Down goes the K1. Rima are in trouble. The Hovet is not in the right position here, too far forward. And Kurnos coming in again. I mean, we're gonna get some chip damage on her, but no kill. Luckily, that Kurnos was fired at position, and that is one hell of a response. They get him. No. Kurnos got out. That sucks. Fighting Falcon is going to get some revenge, though, and I do want to see that nice bombing run there. Very, very nice indeed. I only wish, I mean, the explosion radius is very nice. I'm jealous of the Kurnos. One of the biggest explosion radii, I guess, in the game that I'm aware of, or at least it always seems that way. Could also be one of those psychological things where you're so afraid of something it just seems more magnificent than it is, but I don't know, the explosions off of Kurnos always seem to be impressive. Hovet there is very nice for direct fire against infantry, you just have to keep him protected, right? So, artillery, there's a puff, Hovet's turned off, and on, nice micro. And the Parabats are eliminated by Rima 85 in the woods. Interesting. So having seen enemy infantry here, I would probably get a little bit nervous about this side of the map. Maybe a 10 RC right here would be nice. Gives a good gun and some vision on that side of the base. I've done that before actually. Ooh, nice kill on the Kurnos. Finally a good kill for the Tomcat. But I've done that to people before basically, where you sneak around this side, then if you get up here with Manpad's team, ATGM team, and a couple light units of infantry, it's surprisingly annoying because you can take shots at things as they come in. And it's annoying to shake out as well, because what are you going to do? Call in helicopters into a Manpad's team? Call in tanks into ATGMs? Something's going to die rooting them out. Well, yeah. Let's see, more Geverman, at least it is cheaper this time around. I think, yeah, the NOs are 10 points. 60 points for the whole spend there. M84, sorry, M48 A1s going forward as well. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you do want to get into the town there, that's nice. Better not to leave them in the open. I've seen so many HQ sections sniped before because they were left in the open just a bit too long. Okay, what is that? Is that a Kurnos again? Second Kurnos? Could be. The Gevermen are spotted, so that's going to be right on targets. Not quite, actually. But still, most of that is dead. Kurnos is taken out, so nice answer there by the Tomcat. Yeah, I mean, that's the way to solve the attrition problem in the woods, right? Is make him pay for every single run. Another K1. I'd like to see, instead of the K1, I'd like to see like 10 of the M48 A1s, right? Because, well, I guess not quite 10, but maybe closer to 6 or 8. Because this short range, you can get a surprisingly high amount of use out of low AP guns. Just because, I mean, you get the range scaling off the kinetic weapon there. And that Bet-Gall's 12 frontal armor isn't the heaviest, but their AP power is very nice, which means that they're going to hit the K1 like a ton of bricks, even if they can't take any sort of returning fire. It's still going to be reasonably effective. Fusiliers 90 moving up. It's interesting, both of these players are playing blue, but they've gone with completely different styles of deck choices, which just goes to show you. Just the different things people favor, right? Fusiliers 90 are, of course, really wonderful infantry. Gevermen are pretty decent, they have the MG3. I guess this is why generic blue is good, right? You have Kurnoses, you have Tomcat, you have a whole range of different tools if you want them. And I guess it works reasonably well. The Megaxic Bet Gaul. Interesting, interesting. I wish I liked playing Israel more than I do, but unfortunately I don't. This guy needs to move back right now. There's an ATGM team in one of these two buildings. There's the next shot, and now it's too late. Down he goes. Nice kill there. Nice kill. That's something you should probably expect, to be honest, because if people are holding this side for long enough, they'll put one either back here, which is a little bit less dangerous, or up here if they're starting to clear into the woods. And that's just to screen out reinforcements, just to screen out flanking maneuvers. And you can see the crackback from Orb is pretty impressive. Nordlandsjägeri, not the best for fighting K1s in the woods, but Fallschirmjägeri will be. And that Carl Gustav M2 gets his first shot off, down to 5 points of strength left, and that looks like it was impacting on the frontal armor. Oh no, maybe not. Interesting, only 2 that time around. Nordlandsjägeri are taking a beating, and this time the air game is contested. 1 Tomcat killed. There was revenge there. There was revenge. And now the K1 is gone. Rima, yeah, I mean, they'll make pretty good work here in the woods getting rid of Nordlandsjägeri. That's not too bad. Huh. I don't know. I like community cast. They let me see what other people do, and that sometimes is a really nice perspective. Just because you can see, you know, would I have made this mistake, or would I have made that really good play? Like right now, I probably would have pulled back farther into Bravo, which means that this push would be happening across the tree line. Relatively easier to defend between these 2 sections than inside of this section. But, I mean, the Rima 85 are doing wonderfully. There's been a couple of nice traps that's baited out some planes, and that wouldn't have been as easy to do if you're farther away into Bravo, because, well, your opponent's going to be a little bit more careful calling Kernoses into enemy territory than they are into what's perceived as, well, but that's so close to my zone, that should be mine, even though the actual difference in position isn't that high. So, the psychology of this is somewhat important at times. Fusiliers should be able to kill the remaining RBS-56 here, but they've used all 6 of their Sackless missiles, so I can't really fault them for that. They've tried their little hearts out. And I think what's probably happening, what we're probably seeing, is just too little too late. Entendard does die, and the Fusiliers probably were not really worthwhile, but Canadians at 250 points out of 500, and with the cap on Fox, that has to hurt. Right, so Golf is capped, Fox is capped, Alpha is only not capped because Canadian hasn't gotten around to it yet, so that means a +3. If you can hold Bravo, that's potentially a +4. Or I guess a +2 if True Orb takes it, but I think the Remo are able to hold well enough that he's not willing to push into the... Ooh, never mind. Roll in 3s. H1J Cobra. If he thinks he has this, these Rima might be able to get kills on Rolands. Mortars could be looking for it. Okay, it's the West German one. Nice response time from the Rolands, trying to get out of the way. Worried, but no damage. Counter Captain Fox. Very well. I don't know, I think this looks like... So we only have about a minute left in the replay, and I think despite True Orb making some progress, it could just be a case of, well, we're nearly 30 minutes in, and 287 points is a little bit too much to make up for. And so that is going to be a retreat here by True Orb, and, I mean, all in all, a very nice game. So, kills and losses were incredibly tight. Canadian at 26:45 to True Orb's 25:65. And I don't know, that style of game was certainly very different, so my thanks to Canadian for putting in the replay. And if you want your stuff featured here, just send it to me on the Discord and we'll take a look. Fighting Falcon, definite MVP. Wow, look at that. Lots of infantry, a Cactus even, some Vabs, Caspiator Mark IIs. All this blue on blue violence here sponsored by your friendly neighborhood Fighting Falcon. Okay, not bad. Yeah, this is the group that was forward. They unfortunately did not live, but Narcy, a Rover, a Magakasik Bekgal, Saxon, it's a pretty decent kill list for that. And the Tomcat did get the Kurnos there. I thought he got a second one, but it might have been some other AA. Interesting. Well, thank you all for hanging around, and we'll talk to you again real soon.